There's no such thing as a bad farmer. I want to talk about that. You know how like you can get plants from a farm and you bring them home and you notice that you may overwater them or you may have leave them deprived of oxygen for too long, like they're not outside, right? You leave them sitting around, and you notice they start to dehydrate and turn brown. They went from this rich green color to brown, right? To this copper color. Um, so now you pretty much seen the soil now, so you might as well throw it out, right? Toss the soil in the backyard and throw the basin out, right? Or keep it, right? Recycle it. Um, there's no such thing as a bad farmer. I noticed that, when you live in homes, right, that's like very old, um, and this like you have like neighbors or you may have roommates and they may eat meat. So you may smell the meat throughout the day that they may have cooked earlier. Or you may notice that if, it's a male, right, they may have ate some meat and they have like, a must under their arm or something like that. Well, you don't smell any of that once you go outside. You don't smell yourself once you go outside, right? You don't smell uh, the air after a couple minutes once you open the door in the house. You don't smell it. That's the same thing for plants, right? You don't, the plants, right? They need oxygen. Like plants weren't meant to be inside. You know what I mean? So like plants have to be outside. And if that plant doesn't grow in your region, just don't bring it home. You know what I mean? Don't bring it home. Um, so like, and this is another thing too with the energy department. I said this, like, if you're seeing squirrels, running around, they have mange, like the energy department is doing a poor job. You know what I mean? And that's like right now, it's happening under Trump and it happened under Biden, right? I think the guy name was Michael Reagan. You know what I mean? Like, um, Reagan, right? That's his last name, Reagan. You see what I mean? Like, again, this goes back to ethnogenesis. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know who people are, really. We really don't know who people are, man. But this is, again, like, I was about to go to another conversation. But, they have this energy technology in whatever department that they're in, right? They have um, these energy devices, right? Whether it be software, you know what I mean? So like you see a place like Chicago, right? It snows every winter around December. It snows. That's the energy department's fault. They need to program the software so where it's always hot around December in Chicago, January. They need to go into those computer apps that they have in their uh, facility departments where they have all those computers and technologies and stuff. They need to, whatever HARP devices that they have, the energy department, they need to make sure it's hot in Chicago. And they're not going to do that because they know it's a certain people who live in Chicago. You don't want it to be hot all year round in the Midwest. You know what I mean? Because people, when they're outside all the time, you're gonna, and this happens in Sudan. You see it in Sudan. You see it. You see it in places in Africa all the time. When it's hot year round, right? And the rainy season passes, what happens? An ethnic cleansing war happens. So imagine what Chicago would be like. The police are underfunded. I mean, they're not. The police are understaffed as is. So if they're understaffed, what do you think is going to happen? If it's hot in December in Chicago, police they're going to go on strike the moment the weather doesn't drop below in January, they're going to go on strike. You think people in America are going on strike now? They're really going to go on strike. You know what I mean? They're really going to go on strike if it's hot year round in America. They're going to start waking up like, wow. They're going to start waking up. People are going to start saying, you know, they're hippies. You know what I mean? That whole movement is going to come back. People are going to start saying they're clairvoyant, they're enlightened. They're going to start seeing things differently. They're going to start seeing things differently. Great peace.